Expose you with this question.
Go ahead, you go.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Look who's back. Look who's back.
Happy to be back.
Today we are going to do a Q&A for you guys. We got tons and tons and tons of questions. We decided we're gonna split it up into 2 videos. But yeah, today we're gonna do a fun little couples Q&A. What was that?
A shimmy.
Why did Kyle pick UVA?
So that's for me, not you.
No, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to expose you with this question.
Go ahead, you go.
Here's why Kyle picked UVA, guys. When young Alexa was sophomore in high school, her heart was set on going to UVA. I wanted to go to University of Virginia first. My visit to go there was set up long before his was, but he just got to go before I got to go. And I wanted to go to University of Virginia because they were recruiting my brother, and my parents thought it was the perfect place for me to go. So I fell in love with it before he fell in love with it. So I was like, oh, you're going to visit Virginia?
Wow.
You should go to Virginia. It's a really good school. I might go there.
But I did not choose it based on you. Because you didn't even go there.
Yeah, but at the time when you committed,
You were still looking at it.
you thought
That it was a possibility.
that it was a possibility.
Absolutely. I chose it because the coaching staff at UVA is the most genuine and transparent that ever recruited me. And everyone always talks about that feeling you get in your stomach, like the butterflies almost. And you'll know when you're in the right place. And I had it the whole time I was on my visits.
It's like picking a life partner. Did you realize Kyle was the one?
I don't think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either. Man. I'm just trying to think of how to explain this because Kyle and I were so young when we dated the first time that I don't think we really knew. You know what I mean? Like
I knew that there was no one else out there like you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be with you forever, but like I didn't know any different.
Yeah, because we were each other's first serious relationship ever, and I think that we loved each other so much, but at the same time we didn't know what real love was. But we grew up so much when we weren't together. And I remember I had an internship in New York, and I came home from New York, and Kyle texted me and was like, hey, you're home, like, why don't you come over? My mom really wants to see you, she misses you, and she wants you to come over for dinner.
Total excuse just to get her to come over.
And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be so fun. So I came over and had dinner with him and his family, and I think, I don't know, just like going back over there.
That was, I lied, I know when as soon as I opened the door, when you
Yeah, it was just
there.
like,
That was it for me.
there was just something so different about it this time, and he was like, if we get back together, we're getting married, like that's what we're doing. And I was like, yep, you're right, let's do this. And
here we are now.
yeah, and that's why we got engaged so quickly, because we got back together with the intent on getting married, because we both just knew. And it's so hard to explain. I remember one night when I was visiting you in Virginia, I literally started bawling. Like, I was so overwhelmed with how much I loved Kyle.
I remember that.
That I just started crying. And like, we weren't even doing anything. We were just like watching a movie, and I just started crying because I think that's when it really hit me. Like, not that it didn't hit me before, but I think that's when it really hit me. Like, I love this kid so much. Like, I cannot wait to spend forever with him. And it's so weird because you don't really think of like a moment where you're like, oh, that's when I knew,
right.
You know? It's just kind of like
a culmination of
yeah, it's just everything together. You're just like, man, how long have we known each other / how did we meet / when did we start dating?
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. So we have known each other since the 8th grade, and I think you're like, what, 12 in the 8th grade?
13.
13?
Mhm.
So we've known each other for 7, almost 8 years in a few months.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a really long time. How did we meet? I think we're gonna make like a how we met story time video because so many people have asked us to, but the short version is he came to one of my brother's basketball games with his cousin who I knew, and he introduced us.
And then it was a wrap.
Sort of.
It was a wrap.
Sort of. When did we start dating? So we started dating like middle of August, our freshman year of high school, but we actually met in the 8th grade. Thoughts on getting married and engaged so young?
We're just living our life, you know. People are gonna say, you know, we're too young, or, you know, maybe we're not ready, but I've never been more sure of anything in my life, so it was easy for me.
I mean, and we're not naive. Like, I know that marriage is one of the hardest things that you will ever do in your life. Like, it is hard work and it is not easy, and it'll test you and it'll test your relationship, but I know that I want to take on that with Kyle. Like, there's no one else in the world I would want to take on that with. Like, I couldn't imagine facing, you know, that test with anyone else. If you read the Bible, like, marriage is such a beautiful, special thing, and, you know, man isn't supposed to be alone, and I don't know, I just think if you're called to marry young, then there's nothing wrong with it. And I feel like our world culture makes it so wrong to marry young, to be in a committed relationship, to not, you know, be all over the place. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with us, people. And that's to say that just because you feel like you're in love with someone and you're young, you may not be called to marry young. Like, I still think that's a really important thing. Like, I think getting married young is starting to become kind of a trend now. Like, it's something that people want to do because it's trendy and cool, or I don't know. I just feel like all the big, you know, bloggers, YouTubers, all the famous people you see on social media are starting to get married young. But I want to, like, emphasize that marriage is not this beautiful, wonderful thing where, I mean, it is beautiful and wonderful, but it's hard, you know? And I think people have these unrealistic expectations of what relationships, marriage, and all those things will look like. Like, there's going to be conflict. It's going to be hard. And I think people, especially in our world, think that you fall in love and then you have no issues and everything's fine, and as soon as you face like one hard battle, that's it, you like throw in the towel and it's over. And you're never going to get married if you look at a relationship like that. Like, that's just not how things work. When it comes to getting married and engaged young, when you're called to do it and you genuinely feel ready, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, I think that it's beautiful and it's special and it's awesome that you know who you want to spend the rest of your life with so young, and that you get to grow together and learn together and like tackle the challenges of life together. Have we broken up and what brought us back together? So we've kind of alluded to it. Yes, we broke up. We broke up our junior year of high school at the end, right before prom. So there was that. We didn't go to prom at all together, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
We broke up
with my best friend.
Yeah, I didn't
Zach.
go at all my junior year.
Just me and Zach.
I didn't even go to prom at all in high school. I dressed up for prom my senior year with my friends and went to dinner with them, and then didn't go to actual prom because I didn't want to. But yeah, we broke up the end of our junior year, and we got back together our sophomore year of college. When you date for so long and you literally grew up together, like, we started dating when we were 14 years old, and we literally grew up together. Like, he was my best friend, and I personally went through a lot when I was younger and through high school. Just a lot of like personal stuff with family, and you know, a lot of people didn't know about that. Like, I told no one, but I always told Kyle, and he was just like really my rock through high school, and he was just always my best friend. So even when we broke up, you know, clearly my family still loved him because they still went to all of his stuff after we broke up, and like we were just still such good friends. And when stuff would happen, like I didn't, like no one knew what was going on, but I knew Kyle knew, and so I would still talk to Kyle, and he would still be there for me, and I would still be there for him. And we were just always such good friends, which in hindsight is weird, but and when we were broken up, we didn't think it was weird. We were really just like, yeah, we're just really good friends, but that's it, you know. We just wanted to catch up, and I got back from New York, and he was like, hey, I see you're home. He was just like, hey, come over, like I want to hear about New York. My mom misses you, she wants to hear about New York, because I always talk to Kyle's mom, because she would always text me and be like, oh, how's school, we miss you, we love you. And
my mom would always be like, just like randomly when we weren't dating, have you texted Alexa lately, like have you caught up with her, how's she doing?
Our
like, wow,
parents
I can't text her every single day.
Wanted us to be together so bad.
Yeah.
But so I just came over really just to genuinely just to catch up and see his family and say hi. Like zero intention on, maybe a little intention. But genuinely, that's why I went over, was like just to hang out and say hi and see his family and see Kyle and just catch up. And as soon as I walked in that door, it was like,
here we are again.
Here we are. Let's do this thing again. Did we both like each other at first?
Hell yeah. Have you seen her? My jaw was wide open all night.
Oh, Kyle did not talk at all when we first met. That's for our story time video. But yeah, I followed him on Twitter immediately, because that was like the only social media back then.
Yeah.
Was Twitter, no Snapchat.
Well, you texted Cody, my cousin.
I did text Cody. Yep,
and
I did.
Like, your cousin's cute.
So, long story short, yeah, we both liked each other at first. We did. Favorite thing to do as a couple?
Well, now it's vlogging.
Yeah, this is fun. I like going and doing adventurous stuff as a couple. Like when we went to Devil's Den, that was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like traveling as a couple.
Mm-hmm. A lot of time we literally just kick our feet up and
do nothing, because we're so tired, because we're always doing something.
Yeah, we're always running around. So quality time together, no matter what it is
yeah, any quality time together is our favorite thing to do as a couple. Our favorite memory. My favorite memory is when Kyle and I were in high school. This is when we like first started dating. This is like 6 months into our relationship. We got into a big fight, and I don't even remember what was over, but I was like, we need to take a break. We just are arguing so much, like being so dramatic. Again, don't even know what the fight was over. Kyle ran to my house because we couldn't drive.
7 miles.
He ran to my house because he wanted to hand deliver me a letter that he wrote me, because he was so upset that we were fighting.
I remember going swimming at Nana's, at her Nana's house. There's a pool in the backyard, and it was nighttime, and we put on 1+1 by Beyonce, and we slow danced.
Oh yeah, that was such a sweet moment.
Yeah, that's my favorite moment.
Aw, yeah. That was a good
danced.
memory.
Mm-hmm.
First date. First date was, well, we couldn't drive, so
My stepdad picked us up.
So his stepdad drove to my house, and they picked me up.
Oh, I had Eli and Zach were in the car,
And
too.
all of his friends were in the car, so, you know, group date. And we went to the LC football game. Who were they playing, Ellen?
Yeah. Rival. Yeah.
We went to the big rival football game together, and it was so awkward being in the car with his stepdad and all his friends as a little tiny freshman.
She was wearing a Victoria's Secret
pink sweatshirt because it was neon themed, and that was the only like neon thing I owned, was like a bright pink sweatshirt from Pink. I don't remember what you were wearing.
It's okay.
That was our first date. That was the first time we held hands.
Yep.
It was so crowded, and Kyle was so smooth. He just like grabbed my hand so he wouldn't lose me in the crowd. Cutest thing Kyle's ever done for me. This is hard. Kyle does so many sweet things. One time in high school, he gave me a birthday week. So for a week, I had a birthday present every single day, and we celebrated my birthday for a week. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. Last question for part 1 of our Q&A. Let's do this one. If we could get a pet, what would it be and what would we name it?
For those of you that watched our first video, not Shiloh.
Fine. Okay, we've decided, this took a lot of like give and take, you know what I mean? A lot of compromise, but we're gonna get 2 dogs. One's gonna be a golden doodle and the other is going to be a husky. And have we decided on names?
We haven't really decided on names, no.
That's a whole nother battle. I don't know what we're gonna name them. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching our Q&A video. Part 1. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope we answered all your questions the way you wanted them to be answered. And if your question was answered in this video, it will be answered in the next video. Hopefully, we probably still won't be able to answer all the questions then. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Until then, we will see you guys next time.